A second concern, I heard that the announcement for the Cisco communications happened after it was, or before it was discussed at the Board of Regents. Is that the case?
No, that's not the case. Whoever said that, I think, is misreading it. We had informed the Board of Regents on a continuous basis of the negotiations that were going on.
Over 2 years?
Over 2 years. And the report was done virtually almost every meeting, but we certainly kept them up to speed on exactly the state of where we were. However, when we finally concluded the deal, it was the choice of the government that they wanted to retain a embargo on any public announcement until they were ready to make the announcement, which was on a Friday, I guess it was, or Thursday. Friday, we immediately took it to our finance committee and took it to the board the following Monday. So it didn't catch anybody by surprise.
So it was voted on.
New member. I guess the only one who was surprised were some new members of the board who had just come on the board and hadn't been part of and the table officers knew. I mean, the table officers who I report to, we told them that this deal was being consummated or being completed, and that, but that the timing was going to be on the Friday, and the board meeting on the Monday, and unless they wanted to call a special board meeting, we might as well move it through.
I mean, basically, there was nothing to approve until we actually had the money that it was announced. So, it was within the board's purview to decide whether or not to go forward with the proposal. Once it was actually announced, then there was something for the board to actually, here's the full package that you can now approve.
Okay, and then after they voted before the announcement, in that case, for the board approval?
No, the announcement that was made on that Friday was
here's the money, here's what
the government
okay.
announcement.
Gotcha.
For the $7 million, and it was the announcement by Cisco that they were going to give us their contribution. But for us to be able to proceed with it, we needed board approval. So it had to be announced first for it then to be approved by the board.
Gotcha.
So,
okay. Gotcha.
It was within the board ended up approving it unanimously.
But they didn't have to.
So they didn't have to. They could have, if they wanted to, send it off or defer, they could have done that.
Sure.
Okay. I had a couple last questions. One thing that was brought up was that Cisco has, in some people's eyes, not a great track record in places like China, where I haven't fact-checked this yet, but apparently they're using the technology for assisting in some of the government censorship that they're doing in there. Does that have any effect on them?
We have seen no record of that. Somebody knew that they could have brought it to. I mean, we've been talking about it for 2 years, but it's never come. And Cisco has been, in terms of our dealing with us, there's absolutely no question about any involvement or interference on that in terms of what we do. It's totally a university-determined project. I mean, we're going to consult with them because we want to keep working with them, and they do have outlets around the world that they want to be able to tap into. The research and innovation would be one done jointly.
Okay. And then one final question I have. I read that there will be 30-some-odd new research jobs, and you're talking about a lot of the opportunities for research that this deal will open up. Considering that it's a P3, some people have some questions about how much influence Cisco will have over the research, if it'll influence it at all. Well, just by the fact that Cisco is putting money into this, there's a partnership.
We retain full decision.
Okay.
And it's be run out of our IT department. Once we get the chair, the endowed chair established, that person has all the full rights of academic freedom. I mean, but let me put it bluntly. I mean, there's some people who are trying to find critiques of it, but they're misinformed. And if they want to be informed, then they should come and ask the questions here to make that kind of suggestion. There's no grounds to it.
Fair enough. So then the research chair from Cisco will be someone from the university.
We'll do a normal search.
Right.
Probably an international search, I would think, to find somebody of the best in the field.
And it's an endowment from Cisco, so it's like any other sort of endowment. I could make an endowment for something, but I don't. I as a donor, don't get to hire the person who's going to be the chair. It's the university's right to do all that.
And the person who's the chair is essentially going to be a link between Cisco Communications and the network that they're setting up here in the university?
It's not even a link. I mean, I will maintain a link with him as the president, just to make sure that, I mean, you want to maintain good relations because they're going to be putting out new technology, but the chair is a fully independent academic.
Mm-hmm. Well, that about covers all the bases that yeah.
Well,
the issues that I had heard.
I think it's good. I mean, I hope people at the university understand that this is one of the most important developments in developing a world-class university. It will give us the capacity, and if we work at it the right way, a reputation that will draw students and faculty from around the world. I mean, it really puts us in a very strong, advantageous position to be able to take a new green technology and determine how it can be used and have application in development purposes, offsetting carbon footprint, developing new techniques for education and learning and research. I mean, we can do collaborative research with anybody around the world now. So, I mean, the opportunity is really what we make of it. And the best thing is to really put our creative minds to work and how do we really take full advantage of this initiative to develop. This is a very exciting, innovative center.
And when's the date for it all being set up?
We'll have the first test site probably available end of April. We'll do it temporarily in Centennial. The two permanent sites, one will be in the new building, the Buehler Center, and the other will be in the Richardson College. So we'll actually have two major sites on campus.
Okay.
And there will be, one thing that I think is important to mention, is doing a story, and that is beginning this Friday, and then on successive weeks we'll be doing a series of workshops in the university to explain the technology and how it could be applied for a variety of different uses, different applications.
And when are those?
It starts this Friday.
Okay.
So we're fully sharing what can be done, and that's where I go back to my point that if people pick up and run with it, it could really be something that would give them an enormous lead in, whether it's just refining a way to make your class more interesting.